Ahmed. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Good.
Thank you very much for joining us. And second last, we have Salar Ahmed Pirzada, who's the driver himself. Congratulations to you two. You have played a major role in bringing this victory to Pakistan. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm really good.
Thank you very much for joining us, for being really good. And last but not the least, we have been joined by Ahad Amjad, who's the marketing head of the team. Hello, Ahad. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations, first of all. And whatever I'm going to ask, anybody who feels like answering, you can answer that. But let's get it started. How did you get to know about Shaliko Marathon? Because this is not the first time that NUST is actually participating in such a competition. So what happened, and then how did you gather the team?
Well, about Shaliko Marathon, it's an annual competition.
Right.
It takes place every year. So, teams from NUST have been participating before, and
Yeah.
they have been creating benchmarks.
Yeah.
But particularly this team, it has performed best from all over the Pakistan.
Wow.
From Pakistan for the last 6 to 7 years, team
Yeah.
has been participating. But their performance, they aren't quite good enough.
All right.
So,
Well, what do we mean by performance? As in, for example, the car's not going too long within certain amount of petrol, fuel, or what? How do we compare the performances, for example, this team or the teams which have been going earlier?
the overall objective of the competition is mileage, but mileage is not just only aspect.
No.
You have to make the car that not only would give mileage, but it should satisfy all the technical inspection too.
Okay.
Shell has to approve the car before it went on track.
Exactly.
So many of the cars from Pakistan, I wouldn't say couldn't qualify. Even if they qualify,
Yeah.
they couldn't manage to get on the track.
Okay.
Yeah, only few out of so many tries, only few managed to get on the track.
All right, amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're first in the subcontinent. They are 11th in the gasoline category and 15 overall position within the competition too as well. So, moving on to the technical guy over here. So now, what are the technicalities involved? Because this says over here that you were the only ones who actually got the technical inspection done and passed it in the very first attempt. And how was it for the other people competing right next to you?
Actually, we have participated in urban concept category in internal combustion engine category. So we have numerous rules and regulations to follow in order to ensure our safety of a vehicle.
Yeah.
So in accordance with those rules and regulations, we have designed and fabricated chassis and an aerodynamic body with carbon fiber with reinforced polymer.
Okay.
So
I don't know what that is, but it's all right.
This is
Reinforced, yes?
Yep, this is one of the material which has highest strength to weight ratio.
Okay.
So by using this material, we have made a vehicle of 140 kgs.
That's it.
This was a big achievement for us, because previously we were making cars and our previous vehicle weighed 180 kgs.
Okay.
So we were able to remove a major chunk of weight from our vehicle.
Yeah.
So on our vehicle we are using 70cc engine.
Yeah.
And we have converted it to EFI.
Fuel injection system.
Yep, electronic fuel injection system. The major problem which we have faced during our course of time was to tune the EFI.
Okay.
But, or I should say, this is not the problem we are facing, it is the problem which most of the teams participating in this category from Pakistan are facing.
Okay.
But Alhamdulillah, under the guidance of our faculty, we were able to understand the system and tune the EFI.
Okay, but this is something which is very interesting over here, and that is that you guys drove 64 kilometers per liter, all right?
Yeah.
This is a great achievement, but when you have a Honda Series 70 engine in your car, it already does 70 kilometers in 1 liter. So is it directly proportional to the weight? Is that what comes in? Because why do you think that there was a necessity for putting in EFI or all of these things? Because it normally does that mileage.
This was a compulsion, this was a rule. Okay. We have to use electronic fuel injection. It was a compulsion for us.
Okay.
Since after the electronic fuel injection got compulsory in the competition, I think in 2015, none of the team from Pakistan was able to take a valid run.
Okay.
2016.
2016
and 2017.
Okay, it's all right, yeah.
We are the first team from the Pakistan to take the first well-led run.
Amazing. Well, that's just super cool. But now, since we are so much worried about the weight, I'm not saying that that you're actually fatter or whatnot, because that'll be offensive, and that's not what the case is. But why did you guys look for a much slimmer driver as well? Why do you think that Salar actually got to be the driver?
Actually, there is a weight limit. 70 kgs is the limit.
So you're within 70 kgs?
I'm actually
And
69.
he is within.
Wow.
It's strange, but he is.
Yeah.
Other than that, the car was one-man vehicle, so it suited much more the short-heighted guys.
Okay.
And he knew, out of all of us, he knew cars.
Okay.
He knew how to drive. That's
So-
why he got
so you're
selected.
fond of
Yeah.
cars, that means.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he is
I'm
fond
really
of
fond
cars.
of
All right,
cars.
very nice. So now, once you got the news that, okay, you'll be driving the car, what kind of training did you have to go to?
Actually, driving in the competition is not just knowing about how to drive. Because of the system, the complicated system we were using. Because let me give you an example. The normal cars that you drive or the other people drive are tuned at a compromising point between performance and the ease to drive.
Yeah.
But our car was completely tuned towards performance. So it was completely up to the skill of the driver to extract the efficient points out of the car.
Yeah.
And for that, I had to have the complete knowledge of electronic fuel injection system and how it had to respond to my throttle activity and what kind of the pressures were developing in the manifold and what kind of torques and gear ratios I was dealing with. It was much more complicated than people think.
So, okay, let me relate to that. So back in the day, we used to put in compressed natural gases in our car, and then they used to, do all of that missing and all of those problems. So we used to adjust them, and then, we need to adjust the throttle too as well. Was it something like that?
It was, okay, it can be comparable, but, still, if another person was to drive this car, he wouldn't even be able to get the car off the starting line.
All right.
It's that much complicated. So you have to know the exact gear ratios and on which parts of the track you're supposed to use them to extract the maximum performance out of the car. Because yet again, this is not a normal car. It's something aimed just for performance.
So do you get a practice run over there too?
No, we actually did not get the chance to do a practice run. We straight away went on the track because of some technical difficulties we had to face, because obviously it was our first year.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of time to practice back in my university under the guidance of my seniors, obviously. So we did many, many practice sessions, and obviously under the guidance of our faculty, Dr. Raja Amir, we were able to achieve the expected, well, not the exact expected, but a good performance.
Very nice. Now let's move on to Ahad. So Ahad, I think that, your part of the job was the most difficult because you had to go to ask for sponsorships and whatnot, and this is what we needed. And while I was going through the entire presentation, I think the entire car costed 5 lakh rupees. And then there were 6 lakh rupees, some other charges, and then 8 lakh rupees freight charges and all of these things. So it's a probably total of 15 to 20 lakh rupees, and you got sponsors for 15 lakh rupees as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So how was it in the beginning when you went to people? What did they say? And then eventually when you got the sponsor, how was it and what did they say then?
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank PTB for giving us this platform
Thank you
and
very
to tell us our past experiences. First, in engineering economics, we are taught that we have to manage our resources very well. And engineering is all about, making our limited resources into good thing. And that is what we did in this car, in this project. And I think it was very I had a very challenging role in this, team.
Yeah.
Because convincing other companies and industries for sponsorships is quite difficult. As you know, that Pakistan is not, a well-developed country. So companies are hesitant to sponsor and give funds to students.
Okay.
As I've said before, we had to manage in limited resources, so we had to sacrifice on the quality of what we purchased or bought. And I think that is the main thing in which we lack behind the other teams. And first we make a budget plan before making manufacturing of the car. And in that budget plan we had three parts. First was car manufacturing. Second was traveling and cargo charges which were involved in this, and the third one was equipment and tools. So most people think that most of the budget was involved in car manufacturing, but in fact,
That's not the case, yeah.
around 60 to 70% of the budget was involved in traveling and cargo. As you already know that the dollar price has increased, so the import charges for our car has, you know, it has boosted up very much.
Oh.
So, and one more thing that in car manufacturing, around 50% of the budget only in car manufacturing was involved in research and development.
Okay.
And this thing is not, you know, most of the companies and industries do not understand this. But in research and development, you know, as you already know that different companies like Toyota or Honda, they have a lot of budget involved in the research and development.
Yeah.
And then when they, after spending a lot in research and development, they start making things in bulk.
Okay.
That's why it doesn't cost that much to them. Now I'll come to the sponsorships.
He's giving us a complete
broad
presentation, ladies and gentlemen, over here.
Broad
And I
view.
think it is necessary to listen to this because it's their hard work that they bring in pride to Pakistan. Go ahead.
Now coming towards the sponsorships and funding of companies which were involved, actually not much companies were interested in, you know, funding this student project. But out of so many companies, only 9 were, you know, they were interested in giving us some funding.
It's very modest of you that you're saying only 9 were actually willing to
And
sponsor.
out of those 9, 4 were monetary sponsors and other were in-kind sponsors. I would, you know, quickly name the sponsors.
Sure.
Toyota Indus Motor, it was our big sponsor. Shell, you know, it.
Sorry, they sponsored you, they didn't sponsor us, but for all of those people who were actually in partnership with this entire project, you've done a great job. But I think it's about time that we actually need to share the car as well. So can we have Kashmir on the TV? Okay, we are trying. I think meanwhile, yeah, please go on.
Yeah.
So then what happened now, you guys were mentioning, I overheard you guys while you were talking bad of me, but so the dollar rate went up and it was difficult for you guys to manage the finances, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Because you have to pay in dollars.
Yeah.
If the price fluctuate, we suffer.
And to
Sorry.
add
And
on
that's what
further to
happened.
that point, many people would think that it's actually absurd to spend around 5 lakhs on such, according to some people, a small project.
Yeah.
But the most of the money was actually spent in research and development. And it's not only that you never get your success on the first iteration. You have to perform 5 or 6 iterations to get the maximum results, because this is not something common that you use a common object and that'll do. That's not about it.
Okay.
You have to use precise equipments, precise tools to achieve the maximum performance.
And this is what we're going to talk about right now. Once we are going to share the car with all our amazing viewers who are out there, you have to let us know what is what, which material was used. So I think that'll be Shahid's job.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kashmir right in front of you. Wow. And the name of the team is Nustag, ladies and gentlemen, over here. So, yeah, what kind of things are actually used in making this car? Because I can see motorcycle tires over here.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let us know.
We have used 1 to 5 tires with this because these are the lightest tires which are available to us in the market. We have, as I have told earlier, that we have used 70cc engine.
Yeah.
We have imported EFI kit from America
Wow.
and installed it to our engine, and that's
And that's pretty much it.
I'll add
Yeah,
thing.
sure.
Entire car is made out of carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Well, carbon fiber is not something that you see every day. Well, the world's fastest car, all supercars are actually made out of carbon fiber.
Yeah.
So that's where most of our cost went. We wanted our car to be lightest and fastest and bestest.
So how did you mold it then? To give it the
the
shape
car?
of a car?
Well,
It was
that's
one
a
hell of
secret.
a task.
But I'll add, if you make such kind of cars,
Yeah.
it's a complicated process. First, you have to make a die out of it. Then, when the die is ready, that's the actual shape of the car, and then you take out the cast.
Yeah.
So every car you make, even if glass fiber or carbon fiber, the die part is the same. Then comes the casting. The casting which we did was in carbon fiber, and the carbon fiber mat, the carbon fiber material, is itself quite expensive.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's what we had, which other teams didn't. This was the first car from Pakistan, entirely carbon fiber.
Man.
Carbon fiber monocoque, carbon fiber body, and even carbon fiber seat.
Wow.
So
How did it feel while sitting on a carbon fiber
yeah.
seat?
Well, under the pressure of competition, I couldn't really notice. But yeah, we tried our best to reduce the weight of the car. And obviously, as you can see, I'm not the lightest person on this set at the moment, but the requirements of the competition was that the minimum weight of the driver should be around 70 kgs.
I think that's great, but I would love to know about the challenges you faced while you were driving that car and while you were in the competition. What kind of pressure did you have to go through, and were you connected to your team? Were they talking in your ear that, okay, this is happening or this is not happening?
Yes, see, driving in the
And
competition.
which one of them was very abusive with you? Yaar, aise karna hai yaar.
that would be me.
Well, driving in the competition was a completely different game because I'm from Karachi, actually, to Hyderabad to be precise, and I'm really used to driving in, really bad traffic.
Yeah.
And trust me, it's way easier to drive in that bad traffic compared to the Shell Eco Marathon track.
Really?
Because there were around 40 to 50 different rules that we had to follow, and they had hired Formula One marshals to check if the rules were being followed or not. On top of that, I had to wear a fire retardant racing suit
Oh yeah.
at temperatures of 38 degrees Celsius and 80% humidity
yeah.
with a helmet on and no ventilation inside the car.
Yeah.
And driving it
During
for
our
30
last
minutes.
run, he was stinking.
Yeah.
Just about the sweat,
Well,
he was stinking.
Yeah, I was driving the car for 30 minutes or 45 minutes at times. So some drivers actually ended up dehydrating, and one of the drivers actually fainted on track and was replaced by the reserve driver. And I was in constant contact with the team manager as I was driving, who was telling me how to adjust my driving style and what lap times I was doing, and because I had to maintain certain speed.
Exactly.
Otherwise, the run would be
So
invalid.
you cannot rev it, you just have to make sure that, you're at a very nominal speed so that
It's
the fuel...
actually
Yeah,
far
fuel
more
efficiency.
complicated than that.
Tell us that this is something we want to know.
See, actually, what happens is that they give you a certain time limit that you have to complete the track. And because our engine is not some normal engine that responds to normal throttle responses, we had to monitor our lap times. And what we actually did was we used to turn off the engine and let it coast for a while to achieve the maximum performance. And then we used to start it again, but that's the tricky part. When
Yeah.
you start it back again, the engine response is unpredictable at times. So yeah, I had to use my instinct at some points, but it was due
So
to
was it like, okay, in between neutral?
yeah, something like that.
But the time they gave, 9 laps, 25 minutes,
Yeah.
it's so strategically placed that if you complete early, you lose mileage. If you go overtime, you lose your run.
So you have to do it in 25
Yeah,
minutes.
you have to do it if you want to get a mileage. And we managed to do it in 8.5. That's why I think our number wasn't good. If we would have completed at 8:55, 8:56, it would have been ideal.
Very nice. And one last thing from the technical head, that is, what is the urban category? And why do you think that you guys competed within urban category? Why not any other category?
Basically, there are two main categories: urban concept and prototype. Urban concept is more like to the realistic cars. It
I
has
get it from the name, yes.
Yep. And the prototype is like an aerodynamic. It's an aerodynamic body,
Something futuristic.
something futuristic.
Yeah,
yes.
like dolphins. You
Yeah.
see, like dolphins, small cars.
Yeah.
So basically, what he's trying to say is urban concepts are way more difficult to make and way more difficult to compete in. Prototypes are easy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and people
Because
come.
prototypes, okay, maybe, in near future we use this or we do not use this, but this is something which we need to use.
Yep. The rules and the regulations which we have to follow are much more as compared to the prototype.
Okay, amazing. So now, ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to do is that we're going to share Salar Ahmed Pir Zada Saab driving the car titled Kashmir. And then you can probably build up on that, how were you feeling at this particular point of time. Go ahead, take a look at this video.
Trees are beautiful, like a true friend. Trees give peace till the end. It gives hope with the cool breeze. Fresh we breathe because of trees. Plant a seed, plow shade to read. Save trees, plant more.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PT World, you're watching World this morning alongside Shazad Khan. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by a few people, our Pakistani students who actually made Pakistan proud by competing in Shell Eco Marathon and getting first position within the subcontinent, 11th overall within, we call that gasoline category, and 15th overall within the competition. The team went from NAS, the name of the team is Nustag, and the car which they made is titled Kashmir. But right now we have other members of the team because the team comprised actually of 8 total members. So Mohammad Bukaz, who's the team lead, is obviously over here, but I'm going to introduce to you the other members. So the other members we have, so okay, this guy is actually a strategist, economist, and was looking after the logistics, and he's got a CGP of 3.9. He's a theta in short. He's none other than Mr. Kashan Ali. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I am very fine.
Thank you very much for joining us. And alongside Mr. Kashan Ali, we have been joined by somebody who's the assistant technical head. And yes, he's got a CGP of 4. Wow, CGP of 4. Well, that's quite difficult. But he's none other than Jamal bin Shabir. Hello, Jamal. How are you? Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much for having us on the show.
Thank you very much. And it feels great that for all those people who can score so much are actually involved in extracurricular activities or activities like these or these competitions. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined by somebody who actually took the burden of communications, CAD modeling, and media strategies as well. He's none other than Mr. Muhammad Ubaidullah. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so one by one, what was your role in the team very quickly because we're very short of time?
Well, I am the strategist and economist. On the Shell official website, they have a rule book, chapter 1 and chapter 2, and your vehicle has to be in those rules. Like if even one rule is not satisfied, they get you out of the technical inspection. Yeah, you are failed. You cannot pass the technical inspection. So my job was to make sure that everything they are doing, it has to be in the rules. And secondly, I was the logistics guy. I have my own personal transport. I have a bike, and I live around Raja Bazaar. It's the part of the city where you can find almost everything.
Exactly.
So I know all my way around. So I was like providing them with all the things they needed.
So the technical inspection, talking about that, does that happen when you go to Singapore or
Yes.
it happens back here?
Exactly. When you get there, they give you one day to get your vehicle already up, and the second day they start a technical inspection.
Okay.
There's a fixed time for it, and then you go for the inspection, and there are 12 stages. You pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For many of the teams that come to the event, the main objective of the event is to pass the technical inspection.
Amazing.
It's quite a big achievement for many of the teams. It's quite an achievement for them. Like when they get to the event and like Shell says to them, your vehicle is technically okay. It's enough for them. They don't go on the track.
So our lifesaver was a Rajaji. Rajaji, very nice. All right, Jamal Sahab, what about you? What did you do in the team?
So I am now currently studying mechanical engineering. I'm a third year student, and I joined Team Nustag during my third year, and they have given me the task because I was good in technical things. So they have given me with the task that you should redesign or bring some improvement in the steering geometry. And I proposed some ideas. In the start, they were not as practical as they should be because I don't have the idea of the things should be gone through the economic aspect also.
Okay.
So after that, I have managed to give some good designs, and having said that, I have also worked in the tuning of the engine. And last but not the least, I have done work in the braking, because you know braking is a very important issue.
Exactly.
Many of the teams, most of the teams, and majority of the Pakistani teams were not able to clear the technical inspection because of the braking issue.
Okay.
And it was quite a hard task to make them perfect. So me and Sir Shahir, he was there, and we completed that task very successfully.
And what different did you do with the braking system of this car, Title Kashmir?
Actually, the first we were having problem with the returning of the brakes. When we apply the brake, the brakes were not going backwards. So we have very resistance in the driving of the car.
Yeah.
So we have designed some plates, some extra plates, and we have done through that milling machine. So we were able to design, make a design that was perfect for that returning of the
Amazing. So you do not feel like giving away the secret, because next year
Yep.
probably you might be, participating once
Yes, of
again.
course.
So yeah, Mr. Ubaidullah, what was your role?
Yeah, my main role was handling the CAD modelings and the basically technical drawings of the car. And moreover, I was taking care of technical media, communications and media wings of the team as well. The major role of my major role was to take the care of communications of the team. We organized many seminars on environment friendly seminars on how can we reduce our carbon footprints, and how can we engage the society to produce less emissions of carbon dioxide.
Yeah. So then how did you do it?
We organized many seminars, cleanup drives, and we had different sessions with the juniors within schools, and we also did our social media campaigns in this.
Basically,
Amazing.
all activities on social media, he was responsible for.
Okay, very nice. So how was this experience of going into that competition, then going to Singapore all together as a team, and then staying there more than you guys were required? So it might be fun. And what did you guys learn as a team as well? I think this is a question for all the team members, not in fact for the team lead. So go ahead.
Well, for me personally, I learned that even though you are assigned a personal area, like my area was the rule guy, it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're only going to run that area. You have to take other duties as well. You
Now,
know.
this is what happens within universities.
Yeah.
Jaar kar lena yaar.
Yeah, well, no, in the team, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
In the team, you have to take everything. We all of us, we have our own areas, but actually we were on the hands-on kind of guy. We were all working on the vehicle, staying like 5 till in the morning at the lab. Everyone is working, everyone is hands-on. So it doesn't mean like if I am the rule book guy, I only stick to the rule
And
book.
telling your parents, oh, it's it's team study kind of thing and all of that. But that's
Well,
cool.
they don't actually believe it, but we have to tell them.
That's cool. Jamal, what about you? How do you
So
feel?
basically, I would like to add that during the first 4 days, the competition days, we were like so much stuck into the competition. We were thinking of nothing else, and we were like, there were some stages where we thought that we might not clear the technical inspection, but all the boys, they did their best, and finally we made it.
Your statement just made me remember Mr. Nizamamulak as well. All the boys played well.
Yeah.
Very nice. Waidullah, what about you? How was
Yeah.
your experience?
My experience was very good. I learned as many things in the last few months I didn't learn in the whole engineering career.
Okay.
Well, but the main thing I learned is that if you want to do something, start doing it.
Very nice. Amazing that is. Okay, now what I want to ask is that, such competitions when they take place, okay, you've built a car, what is the future of this car, and how do you think that these competitions are helping us develop newer technologies?
Well, advantage of this competition is first of all engineering. This is the competition. This is what engineers strive for.
Yeah.
All you learn is just the books, but engineer is not just about books. He has to be practical too. So that's what we are trial and tested.
Yeah.
Before going into industries of Pakistan, we have had that experience, the teamwork, the team chemistry, how to achieve a task, how to be a doer.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about in Pakistan industries. And other than that, we as a team, our objective was not just to make a car. We wanted to promote Pakistan too there. For example, we had, having a military background, we were told to name we had to name the car Kashmir, just to give face to India.
Yeah.
But we didn't do that. We went to an Indian stall. There we shouted slogans, Pakistan Zindabad, India Zindabad. Not just that. We went to China stall, we exchanged our flags, and then we had pictures, and the picture was featured by Shell. So we wanted to show the people that Pakistan is not just about terrorism or chaos. It's more than that. The students in field of science and technology are striving for more with what they have. That's what we wanted to convey. And during our stay in Singapore, that's what we did. Most of the people from Singapore thought we were Indians, but what we conveyed is another story. What we conveyed is, no, we are Muslims from Pakistan. So, and we left a pretty good view about ourselves over the people of Singapore.
So a big round of applause for all of you here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for making us prouder day by day. Please keep on doing that and stay blessed and prosper more and more. And you actually have to, disseminate these teachings as well, because you were a team lead, you were the senior most. So make sure that, in every next coming year, you guys perform.
Yeah, just to take care of that, only 2 senior members were in the team. All of them were juniors.
Exactly.
Just to take care of the sustainability.
Cool, bro.
And I want to add one thing more. The thing is, we open our stall for everyone. Our tools, everything.
China,
everyone
Indonesia,
from every stall, from University of Canterbury, they were like coming to us and they were asking, can we take these things from you? And we were like, sure, you
That's
can.
cool. This is how Pakistanis are. Bade dil ke log hote hain. But ladies and gentlemen, we really need to promote all of these people because they've done a great job. And for all of those people who were actually partnering, for all of those companies who were partnering, thank you very much. For all of those teachers who were their mentors, who actually taught them by staying late as well. And then Mr. Safdar, who was missing, was part of the team as well. You were missed, but enjoy the wedding, bro. And if there's anything you want to ask, please write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of World This Morning. On Twitter, it's World This Morning without a G. On Daily Motion and YouTube, it's World This Morning. And the Fabulous Repeat is going to be at 11 p.m. Till the next time, look after yourselves.
I'd like to thank PTV too.
Thank you very much.
Because out of all the medias, PTV is the only.
Popularity or anything, because I made my first song when I was 18 years old. And I wasn't into these things, getting famous and all of that.
No, but I mean, if you want to make a career out of it, then why not? Again, Armagan, finally, what did you wanted to finish off what you were saying?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I want to start creating content, and I want to start pushing that content. So that basically, bridges a gap between the artist and the audience, and that's what. Principally being a platform, that's what I see, like, how I can benefit the music, because I'm just like, a medium that can provide or bridge the gap between the artist and the audience. So best way I can do it is because at one time I can, at max entertain 100 people, but if you have a content made, it's for lifetime.
For everybody.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's for everyone and for lifetime, basically.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you so much for being here today to discuss what's happening within the music scene, especially within Islamabad as well. And we will be sharing any events that will be happening within the major cities as well. And if you want us to, if you have an event, write to us. We can also send out the notification there, because it's all about bridging social and community vibes and knowing thy neighbor and treating them kindly.
And just to do that, I think what you need to do is that you probably need to log on to their Facebook or Instagram, since we were joined by Armagan, and then we were joined by Mehrooz too as well. But towards the end, we want you both to do a song for all of us,
Can we
for
do
all
it?
those people
Can
who
we
are
do
out
a
there.
collab?
If you can do that. But let us wrap up the show too as well.
Exactly.
So ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of
Well This Morning.
on Twitter,
Well This Morning without a
on
G.
Daily Motion and YouTube.
Well This Morning.
This Fabulous Repeat is going to be at
11:05 p.m. this evening.
till the next time. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's do it. Take it away.
This is a famous Amir Zaki song. I'm sure you guys have heard it. Mera Pyar. The legendary.
a case against the Burma Prime Minister and the political party leader in the International Criminal Court for prosecution. And secondly, the British government giving the training to the Burma Army. And I request the British Army to request them and to tell them that's totally wrong, and they suspend the training with the Burma Army.
Well, I think we need a verbal disclaimer too as well, because whatever activities he indulges in is his personal choice, ladies and gentlemen. The channel does not obviously support of whatever causes or what needs to be done in Burma or in England as well, because as a matter of fact, we are Pakistanis, we are concerned about our own country as well. But thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Kamran. Thank you very much, Mr. Waqas. It was lovely to have you guys over here on the show too. Maureen, do you want to say something?
Yes, I loved the show today, and I think I didn't let Shazad talk a lot today, but I think the overall show was really good. It was very informative. I got to know a lot of stuff about overseas Pakistani law, criminal law, a bit of child abuse law, and a lot of about cyber law also.
Exactly,
What
and
did
I
you
think
get
that's
to know?
great. This is how you raise your awareness, and this is how you raise your awareness, or probably, you know, the awareness of the entire globe as well, because we're going out in so many different other countries. So, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything more which you think that we can help you guys with, please write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of
World This Morning.
on Twitter,
World This Morning without a G.
on Daily Motion at YouTube,
World This Morning.
and the fabulous repeat's going to be at
11:05 p.m.
Till the next time, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, good morning.